You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. Well, you had to know I was eventually going to talk about this Mac Jones Patriots story. Mike Florio dropped the bombshell out there, and it started a shitstorm the other day. And I just wonder, did some of this come from Chris Sims? I don't know. The two main teams I can think of right off the bat that Mac Jones would have been shopped to would have been the Niners. Well, we know Chris Sims has got serious ties there. And he also would have serious ties to one Josh McDaniels and with the Raiders, which automatically you would think would be the two teams that Mac Jones would have been shopped to if Bill Belichick was trying to do so. The question is, why? Now, look, it's a shitting on Mac Jones season, it seems, by a lot of people. I find it odd, after such a good rookie year, how much heat Mac has taken under the circumstances. And it's funny because Patriot teammates, they've talked about how big of a shit show that Matt Patricia thing really was. But here's the thing, and this is what I heard on Tommy Kernan's podcast, Patriots Talk, was that you notice Brian Hoyer is gone. We're talking about a guy with long-time Patriot ties. Brian Hoyer, one of their backup quarterbacks, and I understand they got Bailey Zappi, but, Hoyer was kind of viewed as part of the Patriots' pedigree, part of the Patriots' family. Well, evidently he voiced his concerns and was pissed off about the Matt Patricia situation too, and he voiced his concerns, and Bill Belichick shipped him and got him out of there. What? Jakobi Meyers evidently was not happy about the same situation the offense was put in last year with Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. Now, Matt Patricia is not the offensive coordinator anymore. It's Bill O'Brien. But Jakobi Meyers is gone. I mean, and a lot of people were really shocked by that. So we're going to get to this story. We're going to get to Rob Gronkowski shooting the rumors down. I've got a tasty nugget from Phil Perry over at Next Pat's Pod cast where he said, well, I'll just say it now. He called some high-level people with the Patriots, and they said they had not heard that Mac Jones had gotten shopped. However, and look, they could have left it at that. But they didn't. They basically told Phil Perry, look, Bill Belichick's going to Bill Belichick. And that's their way of saying, I wouldn't put it past Bill. I wouldn't put it past him. And it's kind of baffling what's going on with this kid and the fact that Bill put this kid in so much chaos in his second season, coming off one of the best, honestly, rookie seasons we had ever seen out of an NFL quarterback. I was like, the Patriots literally got themselves out of a quarterback bind and got them a quarterback for the next 12 to 15 years. And then they tried to screw that situation up. It's weird. Mac Jones, visibly pissed off about the offensive situation, reached out to Alabama, evidently. One's got to wonder, did he reach out to Bill O'Brien? Who knows? Bill O'Brien's the offensive coordinator now. So, let's get to all these stories. It's nuts. This whole thing is crazy. And one's got to wonder, is it going to be sooner than later that Bill has got to go? Is Robert Kraft getting fed up? A lot of people are saying the seat is getting warm in New England. All right? Kraft wants to go to the playoffs, and he wants to always have a competitive team. Now, when you consider the offensive shit show you had last year, Bill still won 8 games. All right? So nobody's going to ever argue whether or not Bill knows how to coach. But one's got to argue, does he know how to make personnel decisions? If he's thinking about shopping Mac Jones and I see this, Are you shitting me? With all of the wide receivers in this draft, the Patriots are thinking about burning their first-round pick on Bijan Robinson? Are you shitting me right now? I'm floored by this. Does he look like an all-world running back? He does. One of the best, arguably the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley came out. But we know you don't have to draft a running back this high. And with these wide receivers in the draft, are even somebody like Dalton Kincaid, who looks like a actual, if you could draw up a possibility at tight end of a Travis Kelce kind of impact in the passing game tight end, it would be Dalton Kincaid. There's no rumors about him. And he's going to be available right around that same time. So instead of wide receiver, instead of tight end, okay, because, with Hunter Henry and Dalton Kincaid, that's a 1-2 punch for the Patriots and for Mac Jones and for Bill O'Brien, who once schemed up the Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski offense. You just got to wonder, what the hell's going on in Bill Belichick's head right now? Nobody knows. Per a Wednesday report from The Athletic, the Patriots may have some interest in bolstering their ground game talent with some early round draft capital. Despite having several and arguably more pressing roster needs, running back remains an intriguing position for the Patriots. Following the defection of Damian Harris to the Bills, Howe's report points that New England is keeping its options open. How open? New England deciding to select a running back with the selection at number 14 overall. Interesting to say the least. With this year's class considered to be a bit thin at the position, the only prospect worthy of such an investment is Texas' Bijan Robinson. There's no doubt. I mean, the kid's a first-round talent. He is, but you've got, you've got another running back there. It doesn't make sense, and one that's really, really flashed last season that looks like a workhorse in Ramondre Stevenson, and I just don't get this. The former Longhorn standout is considered to be the top rusher in the 2023 class. He finished his final year of the program having rushed for 1,580 yards and 18 touchdowns. Okay, I mean, that's fine, but if honestly, if I was looking at another running back, I think I probably take a couple of mid-round picks and I send them to Tennessee and get Derrick Henry in there and get about 3 years out of Derrick Henry. Okay, at the end of his career, Bill's got a pedigree with Corey Dillon and Steven Jackson, all-world running backs that got into the fray later and had some success. Do something like that, okay, with some later round collateral. But use this 14th pick for one of these guys. This is PFF, and this is their wide receivers. And guys, there are some great wide receivers in this class. If the Patriots are not zeroing in on somebody like Dalton Kincaid or Jaxson Smith-Njigba or Zay Flowers, Zay Flowers seems like, he seems like the perfect dude to bring in there. 5'9", 182, 4'4", he's going to be a slot beast. This is going to be a 100-catch guy. He would be a Mac Jones' best friend. Jaxson Smith-Njigba, 6 foot, 196. Some people believe out of all these Ohio State wide receivers that's come out, this is the guy that's the best one. I'm floored. So, we're at 9 minutes. I hadn't even got to Mac Jones. Well, let me get you back over there. Okay, here we go. So this was the report following the posting of the item regarding the lingering tension between Coach Bill Belichick and the 2021 first rounder. More information has trickled in. Per a source with knowledge of the situation, Belichick has shopped Jones to multiple teams in 2023. The full list of potential destinations isn't known. The teams mentioned as potential destinations were Raiders, Texans, Buccaneers, Commanders. If I'm the Texans, I don't know what you're thinking there. I would have considered it. Obviously, a trade hasn't occurred yet, and that doesn't mean it won't happen. A team hoping to draft a quarterback could pivot to Jones if that team doesn't get the guy it wants. The Raiders are the ones to keep watching. Jimmy Garoppolo's contract lands in the low end of middle class for starters. Jones has 2 years left at his slotted rookie deal before a fifth-year option. Complicating the situation is the fact that owner Robert Kraft seems to be a big fan of Mac Jones. Quote, "I'm a big fan of Mac Jones. He came to us as a rookie. He quarterbacked in his rookie season, did a very fine job, I thought. We made the playoffs, and I think we experimented with some things last year that frankly didn't work when it came to him, in my opinion." So, look, and you want to talk about a polarizing topic, you almost never see 203 comments on a PFT article. I mean, this topic's getting a lot of play right now. So check this out. Rob Gronkowski calls fake news on Mac Jones Patriots trade rumors. Gronkowski is pumping the brakes on a report that Patriots quarterback Mac Jones is being shopped around. Former New England tight end called it fake news on Tuesday by PFT that claimed head coach Bill Belichick is shopping Jones to multiple teams this offseason and reported tension. "I think that was fake news," Gronkowski said on Wednesday on FanDuel's Up and Adams, that's Kay Adams' show right there. Quote, "Belichick already got a new offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Bill O'Brien that he brought in place. Just the whole offensive staff was basically turned over this year. Then you're going to be shipping your quarterback? That's just too much turnover to have in the NFL in one season to be able to compete the following year." I do think Rob's onto something there. However, I think there's a feeling by Bill Belichick, and this is the concern if you're a Patriots fan and you actually do like Mac Jones. Is there a concern that Bill thinks Bailey Zappi is actually the dude? Which makes me just want to throw my hand. I mean, I want to take my cap off and just roll it around and just take a cigarette lighter and light it on fire. I mean, that's crazy. Could Bailey Zappi be a starting quarterback eventually? Sure, maybe. I guess. But the fact is, and look, Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, they've been in the building. They've been in the building. If you're a Patriots fan, provided they keep Mac, you've got cause to be truly excited about next season because Bill O'Brien and Mac Jones are already in the lab on this thing. And I think that's what Mac wanted, okay, was somebody to get in the lab. But then you got Bill, rumors out there about him wanting to take a running back. I mean, it's crazy. It goes back to Cole Strange last year. Yeah, Cole Strange, solid guard. The pick in isolation was a good pick. But he would have been, instead of being a okay pick because it was in the first round, he would have been a great pick in the third round. I mean, Sean McVay came out and said the Rams were waiting on Cole Strange. They didn't have a selection till the third round. And they absolutely came out and said they thought they were going to get Cole Strange. And it's that kind of weird, baffling shit that the Patriots do in the draft that makes everybody just go, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing from a personnel standpoint? And I will say this about Gronkowski and this Mike Florio thing, and Tommy Kernan brought this up too. Mike Florio didn't make this up. He did not make this up. He got this, and people always drag the source with knowledge of the situation. People always drag that unnamed source thing. Why? That's exactly how all good stories get broke. You're going to have a guy in the organization come out and say, and put his name on it, you want that to happen? Of course it wouldn't happen, and if you expect it to happen, you're never going to get any news. I mean, you're just not. That unnamed source thing is crucial when it comes to news. It is. It's everything. You wouldn't get shit if you had guys that had to go out there and put their name on it and put their career on the line. Well, of course, everybody would just... This guy, you would have some guy in the organization that's like, fuck, I know Bill Belichick tried to trade Mac Jones. You don't want to hear that? You know? I mean, really? I want to hear that. You know, I've said, above all, I am rooting for interesting. And Bill Belichick trying to trade Mac Jones is interesting. It's freaking stupid, but it's interesting. And it's pretty clear. Bill takes things extremely personally, and I think Mac Jones was viewing it from, you know, I've got resources to try to get some help with this shit show that I'm dealing with, and so I'm going to reach out and try to get some help. And word has it, he reached out, I guess, to Alabama, right? Saban, Bill O'Brien. I still wonder if Bill O'Brien wasn't the guy he called. You know? In anticipation of this move happening. I don't know. I've also noticed that Mac Jones has fell into that Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo lane, where you can tell Mac is going to be a good professional NFL quarterback. But if he's not one of these dual threat guys, and there's just a section of fans that think everybody's got to be Lamar Jackson when those guys haven't done shit, to be honest with you. They haven't. And by the way, Lamar Jackson's out in New England. That's not happening. So, anyway, I love the John Middlecoff and Guy Haberman podcast. I listen to it all the time. When those guys are live on YouTube, I go through there and I'll say hi to them. But I think John Middlecoff, for example, I think he's got a bad blind spot for Mac Jones. He thinks Mac Jones is trash. I think before it's all said and done, Mac's going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And I think it could be in the next, 2 seasons. But I don't know what that's about. I think it's kind of weird because Jalen Hurts out of nowhere became the best Alabama quarterback randomly by way of Oklahoma. Otherwise, I'd have been saying, look, Mac Jones is going to be the best Alabama quarterback that came out. But after last season, I mean, it's unbelievable what that kid had to deal with. And I would never shit on that kid right now after having to deal with Matt Patricia. I just wouldn't. Now, if he goes out there and he bleeping sucks this season and he's 14 touchdowns, 29 interceptions, 21 interceptions, 17 interceptions, 14 and 14 or some shit like that, yeah, you're not going to make it as a starter. And I will come on here and I will admit that, and I'll chew up a shit sandwich. But I think what you're really looking at next season is something more like 28 touchdowns, 7 picks, and about 4,200 yards. I think most Patriot fans will end up being fine with that, provided Bill builds the right team around Mac. I think he's got the right offensive coordinator in there. But do I think going out and drafting Bijan Robinson is doing Mac any favors? No, I do not. It's just weird. I truly believe, and look, I think Belichick's the greatest coach of all time. There's definitely some honorable mentions in there. Parcells, Jimmy Johnson, the list goes on. Bill Walsh, obviously, as a Niners fan. But some of his moves, I'm just going to keep it real. Belichick thinks he's smarter than everybody else when it comes to certain things, particularly personnel, and I don't think he is. I don't know. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. Long video. It'll do good on the pod. It might not do so good on YouTube. But I wanted to talk at length about this. It's crazy as hell. It really is. And, of course, the Mac Jones haters will come through here and be like, Mac stinks. Mac sucks. Okay. Go out there and enjoy your Cam Newton. I mean, it is what it is. Enjoy your Lamar Jackson and never win a Super Bowl. Never. Never. Right? Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.